Today's parable comes from Matthew chapter 13 verse 33. The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like leaven that a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour, till it was all leavened." The word leaven has 2 meanings. First, a substance, typically yeast, that is used in dough to make it rise. Secondly, a pervasive influence that modifies something or transforms it for the better. They acted as an intellectual leaven to the warriors who dominated the city. This parable is not so much a story as it is a snapshot of an ordinary everyday life during biblical times. Most people, at the time and even today, would have seen a woman making bread. That process includes adding leaven, or yeast, to flour. The yeast ferments and causes the dough to rise over time. Jesus' point with this parable is closely related to the previous parable of the mustard seed. Something seemingly tiny and obscure spreads, and grows, until it is something relatively enormous and obvious appears. In this metaphor, a small amount of leaven is mixed into 3 measures of flour. This would have been about 50 pounds, or 23 kilograms. This would make enough bread to feed about 100 people. Jesus compares the kingdom of heaven to the leaven, the agent that causes the flour to grow into abundant bread. Jesus describing the kingdom of heaven as a small thing that grows over time would not resonate with the masses, who believe the kingdom of heaven is massive. Jesus is describing how the souls of mankind are the wheat or flour. The kingdom will begin in the hearts and souls. By adding leaven, the souls and hearts will expand. His followers would eventually grow to become the glorious kingdom the people were hoping for. Some people may think leaven would mean bad things. This could not be further from the truth. If we look back at the parable of the weeds and mustard seed, Jesus pointed out that you cannot just pull out evil, but wait until the time for the angels to reap the garden. Those evil ones are doomed to be eradicated by Jesus at the judgment. In contrast, Christ does not refer to leaven infiltrating the kingdom. Rather, in this parable, leaven is the kingdom and it grows when it is added to the mixture. Despite how small it is, how little flour there is, when combined the two expand and become enormous. That is a beautiful thing. Put a little love in your heart. Thank you for joining and I hope to see you next week.